Hi everyone. One of the biggest trends to emerge in the 21st century, I think, is the emergence of so-called fake news. In particular, the Daily Show with Jon Stewart, which Jon Stewart started hosting in about 98 or 99, I think, and the spin-off of that show, The Colbert Report, which started airing in 2005. Now, these shows have been becoming increasingly popular ever since they started, and with good reason as well. In my opinion, they are two of the best well-written shows on TV, and they are hilariously funny. If you haven't watched them, then I highly recommend that you do. I don't think you would be disappointed. If you like, if you're a wishy-washy lefty liberal like me, you would probably enjoy them. In particular, they're very popular among young people, and I think for a lot of young people, it seems to be their primary news source. It's where a lot of them go to find out what's happening in the world. In fact, I don't really like the term fake news, which a lot of people use to describe these shows. It's not fake news. It's real news. It's just done in a comedic way. It's not false news. That's Fox's department, and they're not trying to steal Fox's thunder. If I could think of a sort of a title to describe these shows, I would say it's more comedic journalism. I think that fits the shows better. Now, Jon Stewart himself has said that he doesn't consider what he does news, and he just considers himself a comedian that's giving it his opinion. I'm going to give him a little bit more credit to that. I wouldn't than that. Yeah, that makes sense. I wouldn't say it's full out a news show. It's more of like a news/opinion piece, news/opinion show. But the news that he's reporting on is real news. It's not taken out of context. It's not quote mined. It's not made up. It's real news. His opinion may be biased, and he makes no bones about that. But the way they report the news isn't. They give all accurate facts and figures and statistics, and they report the news in an accurate way. But then, Jon Stewart and Stephen Colbert give their opinion. Now the difference between those two is that Stephen Colbert is playing a character, whereas Jon Stewart is just being himself. Stephen Colbert plays this sort of hard-right, neoconservative, news pundit in the same vein as Bill O'Reilly and Glenn Beck. In fact, he calls Bill O'Reilly his Papa Bear, and it's fair to say that without Bill O'Reilly, there would be no Stephen Colbert. And he's made a lot of jokes about this before. He says that he's not stealing from Bill O'Reilly. He's an homage. He's an homage to Bill O'Reilly. The difference is, other than the fact that Stephen Colbert is playing a character, although you probably could say the same to a certain extent to Bill O'Reilly and Glenn Beck. But I think the main difference is that Stephen Colbert, is intentionally funny. The things he says he knows are completely ludicrous and in some cases just blatantly untrue. And he knows this, and he knows that a lot of people are going to laugh at him because of these things. But Bill O'Reilly and Glenn Beck seem to genuinely believe what they say, and they don't really understand why a lot of people are laughing at them. In fact, it probably makes them feel that they're more right, that a lot of so-called liberal elites are laughing at what they have to say. It probably just makes them feel better about themselves, which pisses me off in no end. But that's another subject. So I'm not sure why this comedic thing means that it's fake news exactly. I mean, does that mean that real news is supposed to be serious? I mean, why does that make that real news? In my opinion, I think laughter helps sometimes. It helps us get our head around things, especially very devastating things that would be other than apart from the comedic aspect, would be hard to get our heads around. If we just took life seriously all the time, we would probably kill ourselves. So laughter really does help in sort of lifting our moods and lifting our spirits and making us go on with our lives and try to help as many people as possible. But they can still be very serious too. In particular, Jon Stewart has done a lot of very serious interviews. In particular, I remember an interview we did with Jim Cramer, who had this, I don't know if he still does, but he had this stock show on CNN, I think. And so right at the beginning of the massive worldwide recession, he was very sort of blasé, and even as the economies of the world were starting to tumble, he was still saying, buy Bear Stearns, put a lot of your money in there. It's the stock is not going to go down. And when he appeared on the Daily Show, Jon Stewart was like, this isn't a fucking game that you're playing here. You're playing with real people's money, and real lives here. And so, they can be very serious as well, but they just have a comedic slant. So, are these shows, are they a good thing or a bad thing? Now, I love these shows. In fact, the Colbert Report is probably my favorite TV show of the moment. I absolutely love it. I watch it every time that it's on. But I do read other websites as well to get a more informative, serious look at the goings on around the world. Because I would hate to be ignorant about things, that's going on, that's affecting, the planet, whether it be an ecological disaster or, trouble with the economy or wars going on. I just like to know what's going on in the world. That's just the kind of person that I am. In particular, I find the BBC News website to be very good, a very good, informative, non-partisan news site that gives you the sort of the plain. I don't want to say plain, but the sort of the news as it is, and doesn't put any the people who write the articles don't put any of their own opinion in it, and they leave you to make up your own mind. And that's probably the news website where I got most of my information from. And so I want to ask the question: is the rise of comedic journalism a good thing or a bad thing in your opinion? I mean, do you think that it's a good thing because it encourages people to find out more about the world, and especially young people as well? And that's people we kind of need to be engaging with, because they're going to be running the world someday. Or do you think that it takes away something from more straight news, or do you think it takes away from some of the serious goings on that happen on this planet? And I'd really like to hear people's opinions on this, whether in a video response or in the comment box, because I think this is a very interesting question, and I think it's something that not many people have brought up a lot on YouTube. So I thought it would be an interesting discussion. In my opinion, I think it's a good thing. If being comedic helps get more people interested in the news, then all the better. The more people that we have engaged in the world around us, the better, and especially with young people. And hopefully, we bring in people with the laughter, because laughter is a thing that we all share, and we find a lot of similarity in that. And if that helps them watch the news, whereas they wouldn't otherwise because it's too depressing or something, then I am all for that. It's not making a farce out of the news, and it's not making a farce out of sort of bad situations, but it helps people deal with the fuck-uppedness of the world around us. There are a lot of fucked up things in the world, and it's hard to think about a lot of the time. And if we put a comedic edge on it, then I think it not only helps us understand the world better, but it also makes us more empathetic to people's plight, and it makes us all better people. Laughter is a great leveler, in my opinion. So anyway, I'd like to hear what people have to say about that. Hopefully, as I said, it will be an interesting discussion. Cheerio.